And now for the latest updates, we are joined from Tehran by Bureau Chief on Pakistan, Anas Mallick. Thank you, Anas, for joining us here tonight. And how would you describe the mood there today compared to the first day of ceremonies?
Well, Tehran was charged. Tehran was emotional, and Tehran has officially and formally bid farewell to its late supreme leader. Pauline, today the scenes were quite something to be witnessed. It was a 19-kilometer long procession from Imam Khomeini's Musalla, from where we were reporting yesterday, till this point that is behind me, the Azadi Square, the Azadi Monument. It's a 19-kilometer long journey, 19-kilometer long journey. The roads were packed. Officially, the administration says there were 15 million people, 1.5 million people who were there in attendance, attending the funeral ceremony. That's quite of a figure that has been put out. Yesterday, the figure that was put out by the Tehran Metro, and not the Tehran official Tehran administration, but rather the Metro, the amount of people who used was about 7 million people. So that's what the authorities said, that the commute that was done on the Metro was by at least 7 million people. So it goes on to signify what this meant, what this means. It goes on to signify what the unity factor is. It goes on to signify the amount of trust people enjoy, the people have in their own leadership, and it goes on to signify that the people of Iran, the people of Tehran, did not just love their Ayatollah. They felt a sense of association, and now that sense of association has now been turned into a sense of deprivation, and that is why Tehran came out in numbers, pouring in numbers in a literal sense, to bid bye to their late supreme leader. Pauline?
And Anas, knowing you had conversation with mourners and about their emotions and feelings about this, this procession, what have they told you so far about and why they made the journey to Tehran?
Well, for 60% of the population of Iran, the total population is about 90 million. For 60% of the population, this was the only Ayatollah who they had seen 36 years of his reign, 36 years of his rule. 1989 is when Ayatollah Ali Khamenei the late took power as the Ayatollah. He was the second supreme leader of Iran. He was the third president of Iran in 1981 up until 1983, and he was the second supreme leader. So for the bigger half of the population, it was him who they had seen growing up, reading up, looking up to, so in times they had been in a conflict, at least at an ideological level, in a conflict with him. So I mean, the sense of, as I said, association stemmed from there. And that is why people were quite angered. We saw anti-US sloganeering, anti-Israel sloganeering. And to give you a sense on who all were there, the topmost leadership of the IRGC were here. It became so stringent, and it became so suffocating in a literal sense. It became so clogged in a literal sense that Ahmad Wahidi, Major General Ahmad Wahidi, the head of the IRGC, literally came on a motorbike to attend this funeral procession as Tehran bid bye. The president of Iran, Masoud Pezeshkian, he was here. The foreign minister of Iran, he also rode a bike. Sayyid Abbas Araghchi, he was here. The speaker of the Iranian parliament, Baghir Kalibaf, he was here in attendance. But this program was not about them. This program was not about the high-level dignitaries. For the high-level dignitaries, it was a moment to be among the people, and it was a farewell for the people and by the people, from the people, for the Ayatollah, and from the people of Tehran. We saw Tehran coming out in numbers, literally pouring in numbers to bid bye to their late supreme leader. Pauline?
All right, and Anas, what's going to happen next after, where's the procession is moving after Tehran?
Well, the procession has ended. The procession ended a while back, a short while back, and people have started dispersing. One thing that is to be noted, to be given, is kudos to the Tehran administration, where they made sure that there were no untoward incidents, including any incidents of potential stampedes with the sheer amount of people flocking the streets of Tehran. What happens next is that from where I am, in front of me, very near to me, is the Mehrabad domestic airport. This used to be the Mehrabad International Airport, and back in 1979, when the Iranian Islamic Revolution came, the leader of the Iranian Islamic Revolution, Ayatollah Khomeini, he had flown into Mehrabad Airport at the time, and that has now been declared into a domestic airport. From there, the body will be flown in a helicopter all the way to the holy city of Qom, that is about 120 kilometers southwest of Tehran, where the temperatures are expected to soar up to 43 degrees. 5 a.m. local time is when another funeral prayer will be held in the holy city of Qom, followed by a funeral procession that will also be held in the holy city of Qom, and then the body will then be flown tomorrow to Iraq, where upon arrival in Najaf it will be accorded a National Guard welcome. Then a funeral prayer will be held in Najaf. Following that, the body will be taken to Karbala, where again a funeral prayer will be held. And after that, the mortal remains of the late Supreme Leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, will return back to Iran, where they will be taken to his birth city, which is again one of the most holiest places for the Shiite sect, and he will be buried there, but that will be on Thursday. Before that, there will be a funeral prayer that will be held in Mashhad as well, and then follows the burial process that will happen on the 9th of July itself. Yes.
And as I've been told that more than 30 countries have sent their delegations. What's the international presence like there today?
Well, over 70 countries. Yes, yesterday we heard from Abbas Araghchi that he thanked delegations from over 70 countries. The Iranian side had alleged that it was the US side who had warned countries not to participate in the Ayatollah's funeral. That's what the Iranian side had alleged. Of course, there is no independent verification of that. But with that, what we are given to understand is that the Iranian side had sent invites to over 100 countries. 70 of them indeed came as per a statement by Sayyid Abbas Araghchi, and that included highest of the highest delegations. The highest most was that of Pakistan, headed by the Pakistani Prime Minister, alongside Pakistan's Field Marshal Sayyid Asim Munir, who's also the Pakistani Army Chief, and accompanied by the Pakistani Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Senator Muhammad Ishaq Dar. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, the chairperson of the Pakistan People's Party and former Foreign Minister, was also with them. The President of Tajikistan was here. The President of Georgia was also here. And then there came other delegations as well. So all in all, for Iran, it was a moment to convey diplomatic and political messaging across that it does not stand, quote, isolated, unquote, as what the US side had been thinking of with the presence of these international delegations.
Thank you so much for joining us here, and thanks for the updates.